President Biden spoke at the bipartisan U.S. Conference of Mayors winter meeting earlier today.
Local leaders are in Washington requesting the federal government's help on several issues, including immigration. The White House says more than 175 mayors are attending today's meeting with President Biden. The president praised the efforts of mayors across the U.S. while addressing the local leaders as well.
It matters that you're the ones who make sure, as trite as it sounds, that the garbage gets picked up, the potholes gets fixed, the buses you can catch to work and be able to continue to be there on time, and so much more of significant consequence. But those things are consequential. You affect people's quality of life more than any other group of people in the world.
Well, earlier this week, I sat down with the mayors of 3 of the nation's biggest cities. One of the issues we discussed was the surging number of migrants entering the U.S.
No city should be going through this. Congress has an obligation, and the national government has an obligation that brings with the responsibility of dealing with this immediate crisis. This is a crisis.
Well, joining us now is CBS News senior White House correspondent Weijia Jiang. Thanks for being with us, Weijia. Big issue for all 3 mayors, as you well know. The migrant crisis at the southern border is a top focus for all of the mayors. How is the White House addressing it?
Well, the White House insists that it's doing everything it can with the powers that President Biden has. In fact, recently, as you know, he went to visit the southern border for the first time, although he received some criticism for not actually having any direct contact with migrants. He also announced new immigration policies that expands Title 42, which is that Trump-era COVID ban, to turn migrants away. And, you know, they are working with those communities in the South to try to provide more funding. But as you just mentioned, Michelle, it's not just about the mayors along the southern border, because the governors, as an example from Texas and Florida, are busing these migrants elsewhere to other parts of the country, like New York City, that cannot handle any more migrants, and they are begging for more help, more resources. Now, President Biden, the White House says that that is on the way, that they are willing to look at how much more they can offer. But the bottom line is, you know, they're really putting the onus, the burden on Congress, because, you know, they say there's only so much we can do. It's really up to these lawmakers to step up and find a solution. But this has been a decades-old problem. I know Lilia has covered this extensively, too. It's not like, you know, it's an easy solution. And especially given how tense the situation is on Capitol Hill, how much polarization there is, it's really difficult to imagine that they'll find a solution anytime soon.
Yeah, no easy solutions and certainly no consensus whatsoever. Weijia, I want to shift gears a little bit with you. Today's meeting comes a day after President Biden addressed the controversy over classified documents while he was in California addressing storm damages. Here's what he had to say. We'll come back to you.
We're fully cooperating, looking forward to getting this resolved quickly. I think you're going to find there's nothing there. I have no regrets. I'm following what the lawyers have told me they want me to do. It's exactly what we're doing. There's no there.
No regrets, and there's no there. How surprising is his response and about his handling and his administration's handling of the documents, and what has been the reaction so far to this statement?
So in some ways, it is surprising because there is an ongoing investigation, and the Department of Justice, which the White House and the president, really emphasizes is a separate entity, is still in the very early stages of its investigation. So for him to weigh in, to talk about, anything regarding how he feels about, the decisions that were made or whatever he was referencing with regard to regrets, it's surprising because normally we would expect him not to say anything as that plays out. On the other hand, this is a president who often goes off script, who often doesn't just listen to his comms team when it comes to what message he wants to say, and he'll just talk off the cuff. It looks like that's what he was doing here, saying, look, you'll see that we did nothing wrong in time. But of course, that's not for him to say because those investigators have just begun looking digging into this even more. So in terms of the reactions, I think it's what you would expect. You know, Republicans are really digging in and calling out hypocrisy for the way the Biden administration criticized the former president for having documents. But as we've talked about extensively here on CBS News, it's not the same situation. But they are, you know, obviously making this a political battle too, and I don't anticipate that will stop anytime soon.
Some folks might argue he's taking a page out of the reaction of the former president as well.
Right, similar.
All right, Weijia, thank you so much. Well, you can catch more of the interview or my interview with the mayors of New York City, Houston, and Los Angeles on CBS Mornings this coming Monday. CBS Mornings airs on CBS every weekday at 7 a.m. Eastern.